This man hasn't brushed his teeth for over 20 years. Scientists are baffled by what they see. When growing up, most of us had parents that did the best they could to instill healthy habits and routines into our lives as we grew up. After all, people typically don't live with their parents forever and won't always have someone around them constantly reminding them to take care of themselves. Take, for instance, brushing your teeth. We're told we have to brush them twice a day, every day, or else we'll develop cavities, rot away, and eventually fall out. But what if something else happened instead? Something that even scientists can't explain how or why it happened. The man in this story truly is an anomaly. Jay, a 21-year-old man that lives in the UK, is just your average young adult. People are typically in the prime of their lives at this age with zero health problems and an urge to live their lives to the absolute fullest. But there was one glaring factor that separated Jay from the vast majority of other young adults his age. And that's the fact that growing up, his parents never encouraged him to take care of his oral hygiene. Not once did they ever teach him how to brush his teeth, floss, use mouthwash, or even instill the fact that it's important to do any of those things on a daily basis. As the years went on, Jay began to notice that things in his mouth didn't feel right. His gums would constantly be inflamed. His tongue didn't have much feeling, and of course his teeth didn't feel too healthy at all. Because of how his teeth looked and the fact that he didn't want to know how severe his problem had become, Jay developed a strong fear of going to the dentist. Put two and two together and you have a recipe for disaster. Finally, Jay had enough of hiding away from his problems. Sure, they were definitely embarrassing, but ignoring them out of fear wasn't going to help the situation at all. He decided to sign up to be featured on the British reality TV show Embarrassing Bodies in January of 2017. Eventually, he was accepted onto the TV show and was ready to share his story with the dentist they had on set. He explained to the dentist how in the 21 years he's been alive, not once has he ever brushed his teeth. Unsurprisingly, no one on the show was surprised at the situation itself due to the crazy cases they'd seen in the past. But they were much more surprised by the fact that Jay was supposedly brought up not knowing that he had to take care of his teeth. "I'd like to work in sports or physiotherapy, but because of my teeth, it doesn't really feel right," Jay said on the show. "I feel embarrassed to tell somebody how to look out for themselves when I really haven't taken care of my teeth." Shortly after his appearance on the show, the dentist began to work on Jay's teeth. Cleaning the 21 years worth of tartar and plaque buildup certainly wasn't an easy task, but eventually the dentist was able to complete it. He went on to explain that while Jay's roots and bones in his mouth were still very healthy, at least 11 of his teeth were going to have to be removed due to damage done to them over the years. What baffles scientists to this day when they go back to read about Jay's case is that his bottom teeth didn't seem to be damaged at all. It was only his top teeth that were damaged. What also shocked them was that it appeared as though his teeth were in better shape than his gums. Jay's gums looked as though they had absorbed most of the damage. And while far from perfect, his teeth actually looked pretty good considering how long it had been without them being brushed. An accurate description of what scientists felt as they took place here is the picture used for this video's thumbnail. To replace the teeth that had to be removed from his mouth, Jay now required implants if he wanted a normal smile. Before giving him implants, the dentist made Jay promise a few things. "It's sort of change your lifestyle time," Dr. Russell told his patient. "Cut down on the fizzy drinks or just stop. Cut down on the sweets. Start brushing your teeth. Start trying to floss, especially once we've got things cleaned." As expected, Jay promised to commit to all the lifestyle changes the dentist asked him to commit to. It wasn't an easy process for Jay to sit through, since the dentist chair made him uneasy, but eventually all 11 of the teeth were removed and the implants were given to him. It took a lot of time, patience, and mental stamina for both Jay and the dentist, but the results were more than worth it. Jay finally had an amazing-looking smile that he could be proud of. Instead of remaining ashamed of his teeth forever, Jay decided to take steps toward obtaining a smile he could confidently put on display for the entire world to see.